let's look at that one. So yeah, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the stream, the free stream every week on Thursdays, Market Open, with me, MadMaverick, Mr. Stock Lock Profits, however you remember me. I'm here to see if we can make any trades together and review any swing trades, maybe potential there to go into some positions. So we're going to go review some stuff this morning. Just looking around here. Yeah, doctor, that's hilarious. Yeah, why paint if I'm going to be forced to move? Well, you know, the way he showed us those live video footages, I think he's got a lot of painting and a lot of clearing up to do, and that may take some time before I move there. So I'm going to enjoy this cozy office in the meantime. So yeah, TIRX had some news this morning, and let me just have a look at that ticker real quick. I don't know how much I believe in what their PR says. They said they're going to invest instead of advanced talks to combine with Asia Pacific leading insure tech in addition to advancing its 15,000 Bitcoin acquisition strategy. Not quite sure. I believe they just upped that news. That's why it's pumping this morning. They upped it to 30,000 Bitcoin. I don't know if I believe that coming from a stock that's under 10 cents and probably struggling overall with, you know, any kinds of revenue in general. So I'm not quite sure what I think about that news. I'm not sure if I buy it, but it is getting a pop, right? So we're up 38% on that news. All I'm going to look at, if I'm going to just zoom out here, we can see the last pump they had and the last drop they had. I can stick myself a fib retracement on it and see what we got from the bottom to the top. See how that plays out. Let's do it from there. Let's get rid of, yeah, that's good. So if we look at this chart in general, it's funky, right? So it's you can see every pump kind of gets dropped off. So I'm probably looking for, if you miss the pop and it doesn't pull, say it pulls back to about 9 cents, I'd be looking at that reversal of 9 cents or maybe a 50% retracement on this penny stock. For any signs of maybe a reversal. So either you can see that WIC, this went up all the way to 10.5 cents. Now it's all the way down here at low 9 cents. So I'd be probably just looking for a retracement to here and then bounce, see if we get any buying off this level, the green, that's the 38%. Or I'd be looking for a deep retracement to the 50% and then see if there's any buying off the 50% retracement, which is about low 8 cent range on this ultra penny stock. And then see if we see some improvement in the buying situation. And if we do, and we start to see some good moves off these levels, then maybe scalp trade it, right? And then trade it there. But if we don't get that, then this may be a very easy short opportunity to play it all the way back down to where it was, right? I mean, it was all the way down here at 4 cents. A couple of days ago, it ripped all the way to 12 cents. So 200% move. And then it retraced all the way back down to, what's that, 78%, 75% retracement all the way back down. So if we don't get any more move to the upside, easy short, I think, for now. Just short it down, day trade. Maybe you get 20% move to the downside and short it and then protect yourself and leave with some good profits there. Good morning, TNT. You cash secured put on JetBlue. All right. So you believe it's going to kind of stabilize and not go any lower? Is that what it is? I believe that's what your plan is. JetBlue, let's have a look at JetBlue. I did see it pull back as well. Let's see if it holds here. Looking over here, it could hold. That's what I'd be looking at to hold. It's like right on that area right here, but it's actually a resistance now. So JetBlue has been like, is a kind of a moneymaker, right? Because it has these up and down moves, real clean moves up and down to trade. Even like from here, January all the way to February, it moved up like $2 nearly. That's a nice clean. And you know, this EMA 921 indicator that I made up, and I'm going to start releasing out to the coaching group. It's going to be like my freebie to you guys. The EMA 921 indicator only works on TradingView, but I will be giving it out to the coaching. Anyone that signs up, anyone that's in my coaching group, you can reach out to me and I will put you on the list. And once I get this script published and it's public and I can get an invite only situation, I will send you the invitation to it so you can add to TradingView. But it's going to give you some clean signals. It's 921, but what you're going to have is a clean ribbon, green and red, and then the buy and sell signal that's like a mental help, right? Because, you know, putting indicators on the chart is easy, but you're like, oh, I missed the buy or I missed the sell where I should have took profit. So this is going to just visually help you. And it's going to be given to, like I said, coaching students. So if you want to be a part of the swing trading, day trading, and you want to get this indicator and you want to join the group, I will post the link in the chat and you can sign up today. I actually have a stream today at 11 o'clock. So get in now. You get to join the stream right after this one. Let me get that link real quick. Put in the chat. Here you go. That's for the coaching. It's a low price, under $40 a month to join if you were somewhere good to start. So yeah, JetBlue is not bad. It does like to have some nice swings. So once this, like on the hourly chart, this is a clean hourly chart for JetBlue, because even you get this buy here and you get a clean sell up here. So even if you hold from the buy to sell, that's a clean profit right there. Same thing here, nice buy and nice sell here. That's a nice uptrend. Even if you get stopped out there on the sell signal, you're still making money like this, right? Here's a little bit sideways action. So you still would have left probably a little bit of profit, not the best. But it has some clean swings lately. So good pick on that for sure. JWAG, I like this one. So very nice, clean moves lately. So it looks like it's trying to curl back up. So that's why I'll be looking at for a buy signal. EMA crossover, and then look to take this back up, maybe to the mid sixes again, maybe higher. That's like a resistance point, right? Bumped its head twice there. So that's probably my first target for sure. So yeah, so let me go through some things here. And if you just joined us for the first time, I mostly focus on swing trading, short-term swing trades, long-term swing trades. I do fundamental analysis too. So, you know, I don't just buy trades based on technicals and breakouts. I also trade based on fundamental analysis. So like if, you know, they're growing substantial net growth on their income and revenue growth, margins expanding, insider buying, things like this also make my decisions as well to go long term on certain companies. So I do that as well. We do those research before I jump into those long term stuff. Like rest and retire is mostly my research there. And then I pick those, I put levels, and then I look to buy at those levels and take them higher, right? As long as the growth, margins expanding, their business model and their business is expanding, new deals, new partnerships, more customers. Those are the ones that I look to take long term, and I don't really care about the short term noise. So JetBlue has collected premium. Yeah, that's good stuff. So let me go to SPY before we start, because we got about 2 minutes till market opens, and I want to go to SPY. We had NVIDIA earnings today, so I do want to see how that reacts. I got key levels on my chart here. I got yesterday's high, I got pre-market low, I got yesterday's low, and I have pre-market high. So to take this higher, I would look for a total breakout above here. And then to take this lower, I would look for this pre-market low to get broken. So just simple stuff that I can add to my chart every day and then base a trade off of that. Pretty simple trade off of it. And also my EMA is showing me a sell signal right now. So it's a little bit lower, but this is where I'm looking to take out this pre-market level. You know, we've got this very weak level here and this level here to go higher or to go lower if we break down under that level. This is yesterday's low. And then we got, I'm going to put a few other levels like this level here. And I'm going to put this level here. Like right there. And these will be my target points, right? So if I'm going to jump into a trade, a SPY trade, it will normally be $1 out of the money, and it will be next day expiration. I normally don't do 0 DTUs, right? So I look for a breakdown under here and then take tomorrow's expiration and likely 691 puts if we lose this level to play it down. And if we go lower, we just raise our stop, protect our profit, maybe trim our position along the way. But I won't go red once we start seeing good profit right under here. If we get back above this level, then I'll be looking to take 695 calls for tomorrow. Keep it very simple. If I'm targeting 20% profit, my stop loss is not going to be no more than 20%. So 1 for 1. Keep it very simple across the board. If I'm looking, if I'm looking to double my money, obviously, then if I'm risking 20%, I'm going to look for 40% return if I'm looking for that double of my risk. So it really depends. Day trading is that 1 for 1 normally. But if you want to get a little bit more out of it, you can just, raise your stop up and try to squeeze as much as you can from it. So we are retesting pre-market lows. So we see what happens here. So let me write this down. So if anyone joins, they're like, what is going on over here? This is going to be 690 puts for 227 expiration. Once we lose this level, I'm on a 3-minute time frame. Once we lose this on a 3-minute time frame, this line, we close under it, then I'm looking to take this down. Right now, I'm not going to be in any trade in this little zone here. And then this will be 695 calls, same expiration. Right there, like that. And everyone's different, right? So maybe you get into a trade and you save 10% return is good for me. Stick to that. When you get 10%, think about taking profits or at least protecting them so you get what you want. Get what you wanted out of the trade from the original plan. I'm just going to check through the top gainers and see if we get any movement here. So who here trades options mostly? Type a 1 in the chat if you just strictly focus on options. You can type a 2 if you do mix equity, trading stocks and options, and then 3 if you just trade stocks. Let me know. So we can focus on more of that in this stream, right? Because we give you guys what you want. Get that itch off for the week. What would I choose? Mona S said, what would I choose on the watch list? The one that actually sticks out to me on this watch list right now is CURX. That one's getting a little bump. It's getting a lot of volume in there. So Okay, so SPY. Let me see if this candle decides to just hold below this line, and now I'm going to take SPY puts down. What's NVIDIA doing? NVIDIA's red 2%, driving down the market. Let me queue up a trade here. SPY 690 puts for tomorrow. I'll be paying very close attention when we're in these SPY puts. I'll be paying very close attention to NVIDIA's chart, because if NVIDIA continues to fall, which it is now, we will continue to see SPY fall as well. The overall market will pull back down. It's heavily weighted, so as long as NVIDIA falls and continues to fall, then these indexes will fall right behind them. So those puts will continue to print until that stops. Let's have a look at NVIDIA's for a trade too. NVIDIA is still falling, down 2.2% already. Let's see if it can hold. Let me put them both beside each other. And then we put NVIDIA over here and see what NVIDIA is doing. See, NVIDIA is falling here. So we should see a follow through on SPY puts. Look at this. And a very nice reaction with earnings initially, because if you look at those numbers, I'm even shocked by the numbers that they keep on beating. I'm surprised it's selling off, especially with some upgrades today. But I believe they got hit with some charges that affected their margins, which probably not good, right? So we already broke down under this level here. So you can see it got the reaction with earnings and then bumped right up. And then we got a retest of that area right after earnings, so like an hour or two after earnings. And then we bumped up. But look at this now. This is telling us a whole different story. We're not holding that level anymore. We're not getting that bounce anymore. We're falling. So SPY is going to continue to fall. Anyone in puts taking advantage of that move? So you can see it's pretty simple stuff. NVIDIA had earnings. NVIDIA's falling. The markets aren't going to be bumping. NVIDIA's are heavily weighted on their index. So why would the SPY be ripping if NVIDIA is falling? Doesn't make sense, right? So it's falling along with it. So let's see what happens to NVIDIA. If NVIDIA continues to fall, then I'd be looking at some inverses to trade. Probably NVD would be one of them that comes to mind. That's a NVIDIA inverse. Watch the CURX that was on the watch list above 50 cents. Now it's up to 58. If you're taking that trade, make sure you manage that position. Don't go red. It's 59 cents. This one's definitely having a very good move to 60 cents. So all I'm looking at, if you're strictly focused on those watch list trades, we're looking for a breakout with volume. It's strictly what I'm looking for, along with a few other things like, EMA crossover or VWAP break. Those things are great too. But essentially, they're not going to move unless they have a very good surge of volume. So you can see CURX got that volume from the get-go, breaking through VWAP, breaking through the resistance of pre-market, and going to a new high of day. So you got to move there, you got to trade there. 10% on SPY puts. Looking over here in the video on the right side, getting a little bit of volume here, a little buying volume down here about the 190 level. So just be very cautious on those puts, because if this starts to bounce, you're likely to see SPY start to move back up. If it starts to roll over and this doesn't hold up, then this will continue to fall down. Let's see if NVIDIA builds that base at 190. Yeah. Netflix is hell of a move off the 70s. Really nice move off the 70s. That's a good swing candidate. Also, all of those, like, I don't care how much negative news there is about some of these software companies, but I think there's a lot of sales, a lot of fire sales on the software side. AI is only going to do so much. And I think that a lot of these companies have AI integrated. So why not get the best of both worlds by going with one of these big software companies instead of a AI agent or something that doesn't have no credibility right now? So I like Team, and Team's moving up 5% today. I like ServiceNow. It's up 3.6% today. You got Palantir trying to hold as well. So you have a lot of these software companies that are still growing, margins expanding, but the market is so negative on them right now that it's just giving us more of a discount on some of these names. I'm not saying across the board all software, but I'm saying some of these names are just stupid, oversold, overdone. And they're just really good areas where you can keep your risk very low and your reward could be very high, right, on some of these trades. So maybe on Team, you got it in the 60s or you got it in the 70s. Yesterday, it was like 72, 71. And when I was mentioning it, if you grabbed it there and you stuck it just a couple of dollar stop loss in, the upside is still to 100 plus at this point, with a couple of dollar risk to the downside, with a very well, written out plan for it. So it's up 5% more, nearly 6% today. ServiceNow holding $100, which is great. Psychological, that's a great level to hold. And it's up 3.6% today. So some of these names are going to start reversing, even if the market is flat or pulls back a little bit. I think some of these software names are going to reverse for the rest of the year. So take advantage of that. So SPY is going to a new low day. 691.48 was the low day if you're in puts. We hit our first target. Second target is 691.34. Last target is yesterday's lows, which is 690 and 8 cents. And at that point, I'm not going to be greedy. At that point, it's a little bit risky if you're going to try to stay in that even longer there, right? Because we saw a strong bounce off that 690 level. 10% puts, good enough. Stopped out with a stop loss above break even. Account up 2.28% for the day. Good stuff. I want to see that video, Doctor. I want to see that Instagram video update. I want to see it. Let's have a look. Amazon holding up, Microsoft too. Yeah. Yeah, that's nice. Red Robin. Red Robin. I don't have none of those around here. But that was a good deal. I believe they had earnings today and they had a good bump on earnings. So that's why I put it in my watch list, just based on earning reaction. But why not? If we're going to get volume, we're going to push right back up to where it was. Okay, SPY going down to our second target. If you're in puts, 691.34. CURX watchlist trade higher is 66 cents, and that was an entry from, I think, 50 cents. Over 20% return there. Yep. 50 cents, all targets here. 50 cents to 66, so that's even bigger than 20%, like 30% return. SPY continues to drop, and NVIDIA is finding a new low day. And that's all we're going to base this on, NVIDIA's move and trading SPY. Let's do it. Let's go. Low of day, 690 and 90 cents. Second target here. Starting to trim some of these profits now. Hi, everyone. Hi, Adrian. How you doing, buddy? Elizabeth, you got your 1% for the day? I hope that's a hell yeah. Red Robin finding a new low, new high of day, 472. NVIDIA's falling to a new low, SPY is at low of day. This is a look at the sell side, guys. Like, just keep it very simple, and that's what we do in the coaching side. And we try to just keep it very simple. Sell side volume breaking under this EMA sell signal, and price action is going to follow that. So we got a lot of sell side volume. NVIDIA is selling off. Bam, we got to move. And that's it. You probably hit your quota for the day. It's not good to always keep on testing your luck and doing a second or third or fourth or fifth trade. Sometimes you just hit one trade, you smash your goal, and you get out and you move on for the day. I'm in IWM puts 30% so far. Yeah, so small caps are going to get hit. Yeah. I've been like, last week we had the baby. 2 weeks ago we had the baby. Then I was in the hospital again last week for a couple of days. So I've been missing these streams. I'm sorry. I love doing these streams as well. It's just that I've been a little bit occupied now. SPY, new low day. Here we go. Let's see if we get a nuke down to 690. Okay. Still. Yeah. You just changing it up to 3%. You're raising that. You're a little wild there, raising it 2 more percent. Oh, look at you. TDD got a nice bump from those lows of yesterday. Man, I should have kept that from our buy yesterday at 21 and change. It was up to 23 plus now. Damn it. 50% on IWM. Keep going, man. Keep going. Try to squeeze as much out of it, but protect that profit. Squeeze as much as you can, but don't lose it. Goes a little bit. I'm gonna be seeing. Are you coming to Traders Paradise? Because I mean, last year's Traders Paradise was the in-person event. Man, you don't get nothing better than that in-person event experience, live trading, learning about strategies. I mean, I feel like a lot of you guys that showed up last year, I'm in Chicago, have totally changed your ways and just way more consistent on your trading. So, if you kind of struggle to do it online, like through a Discord or do it through X, hit up our Traders Paradise. It's coming up this year again in June. It's going to be in Nashville this year. So it's going to be a totally different place. I've never been there. So Traders Paradise is this year. It's in June. It's going to be in Nashville. You can open a support ticket to get more information. Nikki can help you out there. But the in-person event, 3 days, I believe it is, live trading, learning strategies, psychology, everything in person. For me, I get more of it when I'm in person learning in the moment. So if you struggle here and on Discord or on social media, and you're like, I need a home, need a place where I can learn in person, check this year's Traders Paradise. It's definitely something you don't want to miss. If you're struggling, it could be a big game changer to learn everything in person. Yeah, so I've been there, and I'm looking forward to going this year. I didn't even go to Chicago. I've never been to Chicago, so that was the first time as well. But I was stuck to the hotel room. So this year, I think it's going to be a lot different. So we're going to go out in groups, have a little bit of fun as well. So interested in that, open up that support ticket, get the information. We have different tickets that you can look at. I believe there's some monthly payments. You can pay over a couple of payments as well. And that's this year in June. So definitely looking forward to that. So we got NVIDIA down to the low of day, 188, SPY low of day, 690, 67. I'm trying to get that nuke down to 690. And then I'm just going to blatantly just close the stream and get out of here. Just enjoy the profit. Just bye, guys. I'm out of here. Okay, so Red Robin, you got that 481 high day. Also, Krispy Kreme, Dina is making a move today, 35% on good earnings. They actually beat earnings, and actually, I believe their guidance is good as well. So not Dunkin' Donuts, Krispy Kreme is still getting some nice moves here, and it used to be a meme-like stock, right? So it's gapping up after having such a bad 2026 so far. Starting to gap up. Maybe that changes for them. I'm looking forward to it, JTM. I am. Elizabeth, I see you there. Adrian, are you coming? Come on, man. You better be showing up this year. I know it's hard sometimes to show up. You got work or maybe kids or something, but you can bring them along. They can hang out in the pool maybe. Or they can learn trading with us at an early age. Okay, so we're getting a bump here on SPY. Let's see. So at this point, you have protection in place with the profits. You're not gonna stop out with any loss in this SPY put. If you do, then maybe you need to kind of review that trading plan for the next time. But you're in probably about 30% at this point, 40% returns from our entry, and you shouldn't be losing that. But now you can see if I put this arrow, we got some buying stepping in here now, the first green bar since we opened. So let's see if that follows through or we just continue to roll. We'll see, but I really want that 690. Really want it. Come on, market, give it to me. Let me see what else. Pins is up 3%. What a nice dip. What a nice dip with earnings. Pinterest went down to $14. In 1 week, it's up $4. That's amazing. Team, like I was mentioning, Team up 7% now. It was just up 5%. A lot of these software names getting some buyers. So you heard it here first. I think TDD could go green. I mean, the way the volume's coming in, look at that level that it held after earnings, this big dump off with TDD. This is one trade desk that continues to grow and give us strong numbers, but they have competition in their sector with Amazon trying to take over, but they still are very resilient, still growing, expansion is still there. This is an opportunity to gap fill right back to 25. I mean, that is pretty strong volume here from the get-go. Held this level right here at $20 and change. Now we're up $3. So this could be, I mean, we can put a fib retracement here from this before the dump off all the way down to the low. That's close to a 50% retracement back up. Let's see where, let me get that line spot on though. Let's go down to the wick there. Close to, yeah, it's about 50% retracement on this, right? So you can see once we got that bottom in place, we got this retracement 50% from the high to the low of that move with earnings. So on we need to start pushing back above maybe 23.78 above this level, then start aiming to fill the total gap all the way back to 25. But so far, that's a good reaction. So it'd definitely be one on my watch list to just look for the rest of the day and maybe scalp trade or day trade this if we can get back above and play it up to where it gapped down from the start of the gap down. It looks very strong here. You want to go to Nashville this year, but not sure. Come on, man. What do I have to do? Come on. I'll sit next to you this year, okay? I'll sit next to you, Adrian, and we can trade together. How about that? Come on. I know you want to show up. Okay, SPY going to a new low, so you can see that we got a buy here, but we follow through with sell side signal. RSI is very oversold at 12 on this 3-minute chart, and then MACD is very bearish as well. So not sure if we get to 690, but that is the total, like the max target I'm looking for. But if we start ripping back above these lines, I'm putting red now for resistance. If we get back, start getting back above these red resistance levels, I just cut the rest of my position and just leave with the profit. But right now, this is showing me is still very weak at this level. Team, look at oh shit, I wasn't gonna do that. Let me go back to SPY. My bad. Over here, I'm gonna put it. Look at team. Even when the market is just flat or down, look at team ripping here. If we go to the daily chart on team, it is very, very oversold. It's now just about to get back into the 30, into the range of the oversold of 30 and the 70 in that box. It's just about to get in there right now. It's been way down here at 15. So look at this, like just looking at the bigger picture here. People get scared, but that's where people start making money on the max fear, is when they start to get, you start to see institutions buy extreme and consolidate their positions at that level, build up their positions, and then they let it go to higher levels after they built their position. So like this is beaten down to like 2018 levels team, and it all happened within like 2 months. It was all the way up here, and what was this? This was last year in February. It was all the way in the 300s, and now it's a measly $79. But that is giving us really good opportunity, and I would be aiming for, you know, right here about 130 to 140. Let's try to like reach that resistance point. That's what I'd be looking for personally. That area there, 113, 130 is that is the way I'd be aiming for, and that's the top of this area where it used to bounce really good support here on the weekly. It lost that, and then above that is the next resistance point right here. So I'd be looking, like if this totally does a V-shaped recovery, that's at least where I'd be aiming for, 113, 130. Call me crazy, but that's 70% return to the max right there. That's not even getting to a point where it was last year. If it does decide to expand and the earnings kind of calms down that fear, then this is a stock that goes back to the 200s again. So I'm excited for these kind of trades. Same thing with ServiceNow, right? Look at where ServiceNow is. And if you look at fundamentals, nothing's telling you they're slowing down at all. It's just the whole fear around AI agents and all that kind of stuff that's going on. So this gives me, you know, potentially this can go back to 130, at least right here, where it had very strong support before and broke down. I'd be looking to take that. If we continue to build on this level, I'd look at to take that back to 135 at least, and then keep a very tight stop under these lows right here. It could be a very well full out plan, and everyone, all you have to do is base it on your max risk that you can take in the trade, and then base your targets off of previous levels that will support, resistance, what have you. And those are the areas that I normally react very well off of, and that's where I look to trim my positions before we get that reaction. I'm taking my profit, and some of it, and then protecting the rest. And if we get more, we get more. If we don't, I stop out, whatever, you know. Snapchat having a good day as well, up 2%. I have a position in Snapchat here. $500 in my Snapchat position. Let's see how that goes. Bought more SPY puts, more IBM puts. You love IWM, which is the Russell, right? The small caps normally get hit the hardest when we start to see the sell-off. That's risky. That's a risky index with a lot of small caps. With it's all speculation kind of stuff, right? So of course, investors are going to get out of that stuff first, and then go to more of a safe sector, consumer defensive, household products, stuff like that. Walmart's, Targets, Clorox. Like I mentioned Clorox a lot of time. That's where people go, safe havens, where they've paid a dividend for 40 years. And their products is something that everyone needs even in bad times. So you start to see those names get more inflow volume when the market starts to extremely sell off. Right now, it's just trading in a box. It's not selling off too much. Yeah. What is everyone else trading? Let's see what else is going on here. Oh shit! I totally missed that one, huh? Have a look at B-Fly. So I'm just going to leave SPY. We're going to try to max out those profits. And you can see I only took one trade right now, and that's SPY puts. So interesting. So B-Fly, which is Butterfly Networks, health technology, they recorded a Q4 revenue and embedded growth set stage for 20% plus revenue growth, it looks like. Revenue and gross margins, and it looks like they're going to, their guidance calls for 20 to 24% revenue growth and continued investment in innovation. So this one's a small name, right? It's $4.73, up 52% for the day on that news. Now, looking at a bigger picture, right? Because if you missed that whole momentum trade today, then we can zoom out and say, okay, well, if we're looking at this a little bit longer term of a trade, where can we trade it from? Where's the next breakout? You can see on this one, Butterfly, B-Fly, that we got rejection on this move. This actually lines up a little bit here too. Lines up right here. Let's zoom, doesn't have no more. So, and right here. So we know that, okay, we came in, we missed the momentum trade, but maybe we can trade this once we break out of a big level, right? And that is $5. $5 is the rejection right here, that it's rejected from many times. So if we can get above 5, even retest 5 and hold its support, that is our pivot point to take this longer term as a trade, or we can take it tomorrow if it gets over $5 and we can day trade it tomorrow, or we can swing trade it as long as we can. So $5 is the pivot level for this B-Fly to take it higher on the bigger time frames. And we can take it to, I mean, honestly, we can probably get it to about 6 and change and maybe 8. If we really get bullish on this, investors come, the flow is still buying. Every day we see that inflow of buying, then this could easily see the 6s and easily see the 8s if it breaks through there. So as long as the volume's there, momentum's still on their side, this can continue higher. We just missed it for the day. It's still at 50%, right? So I'm just looking for what's next. And we either can trade this higher from $5 break, or we reject off $5 and a clean, let's trade this down from $5 and short it, or buy some puts if they have puts, right? If they have an option chain, I'd have to check. Let me see. And if they're any good. Yeah, there's some more options available for them for this one. So you can, if the spread isn't so bad, if it's like a 5 cent spread or something, then maybe if we reject off the five, we can buy like $4.50 puts or $4 puts and trade this down on that rejection as low as we can. Get a couple months out on those expirations and trade it. Okay, we got the 690. We got our max profit there on SPY. So now you're just playing with fire. If you want to try to stay in longer, get a little greedier now. You know, you want to press the button, but your brain is telling you, no, I want to stay in longer. I want to stay in as long as possible. Let me get greedier. That can always bite you in the ass. So if you're going to try to do that, have a stop loss protection on your profit, so you don't take a loss anytime in this trade now. But yeah, B-Fly is one $5 breakout to take this higher. That's a big move if we get above 5, right? Because rejected once there, rejected twice there. Third time we break through it, there's a charm. Let's take it higher. If we reject, I'm going to short this baby for like 10-20% on the equity side, not on options. I'm going to just trade the equity. Stop that IWM. No. In Uber and Palantir calls. Palantir's moving up. Team is near on $80 now. That's gone up 4% more since we started talking about it. And let me look at NVIDIA. Yeah, let's see what NVIDIA is doing. Oh yeah, it's finding a new low of day. I'm just so surprised. They got some upgrades today. Some upgrades from. Well, this one's 275, but there was an upgrade that I saw. That's from JP Morgan. JP Morgan raised it up a couple, like $10-15 higher than their original PT. There's just no one like NVIDIA. You know, there's NVIDIA and AMD. I feel like those ones are the big names. Intel, I don't think is going to get anywhere. Not like these ones. I mean, NVIDIA is just the golden child here. You know, if you want AI, you want to deal with semiconductors, you want to deal with data centers, NVIDIA is just the super dog here. That's the company I would buy on dips the most out of all of them. It's just with that revenue, what is that? They beat revenue and they brought in, how much was it? Crushed all estimates. They brought in like 80 billion, wasn't it? Let me have a look at this. 68 billion for the quarter. A year ago, the same time a year ago, they're at 39 billion. This is just insane, the increase. It's just mind-blowing to see such beats on their revenue and guidance increases. This company is just crazy. So good. So I'll be buying dips on the video if it falls lower. Jobby? What's going on with Jobby? Let's have a look at Jobby. We got a volume shelf right here. So we got back above this volume shelf. I was calling for new highs down here in 2025. $7. Went to a 20 plus. This one's interesting, Charlie, because it's just right there on this volume shelf. And this is 2025 highs, but this is the beginning of 2025. Right here, right here. So it's getting back above that level. That's a resistance point right here. And you could easily, you know, put in this trend line down here, broke through the trend line, got the buy signal as well. So gap fill opportunity now would be towards, well, there's a wick here. So I'd say about $12 would be a target point for me. So aim for this wick low here as a target, $12, and then we got up here. So you got 12 and then 13. But I would look for it to clear this. For me personally, I just look for it to start filling this gap. Once that would be a target point too. So if you got in now, say you're in Charlie now, you love everything about the chart setup. Then you would aim for this 11 and change at the where we next day open up that gap, right? And then if we get through that, then I'll be aiming for here as a target point. And then I'll be aiming for this right here. As you can see, this is pretty good support that it had. So I'll be aiming for that next as well. So a few little things to do, but it could definitely be on its way up to that area soon. What I like about it is starting to pick up buying, at least. It hasn't fallen down to the fives, you know, where it was at before. So look at that chart though. Goes back to IPO levels right there as well. So a lot of it rides on that line, those bottom lines there to hold. Maybe good for coaching, yeah. Yeah, more at 11. Yeah, we can go over some of these type of trades, and we can. I'm always game to listen to any ideas you guys have, because in the end, coaching's about obviously learning things, but about seeing it come from you guys, and you know, learning from it and actually doing it yourself, and just, you know, sharing that information. I feel like that's mission completed right there. Not for me to kind of just talk to you all the time. It's okay, well, we've learned this, and now look what I'm doing now. So oh, good. Let me work on something with Uber for a flying taxi. You're in at $10.40. Okay, so Jobby is nice for you right now. If we can get through this resistance, which is $10.70, then I could see this going to the 11s. And then if we go into the gap, then that would be nice for you. Snapchat just keeps going. It's 4% up today. I was going to add to this. Couldn't add to it. I think that filled my position to sell, no? Let me see if we can get now. Oh, SPY, new low day, guys. Now we're really nuked. So anyone that held on to those SPY puts, congratulations, because it is nuking and Nvidia continues to fall. And all we have to do is sit here and focus on this one trade since the market opened. And that's all we need to do. We don't need to go across 10 different, 20 different trades for 2%, 3%. We can take one nice setup for a bigger percent, and all you're focusing on is one trade and not multiple going at one time. And I think this was the quality setup from the very beginning, right? We had our plan already below 691.70 or whatever it was that we had it at, and it's already down $2 from there. So this was our line below 692, around that level there. That was our breakdown line, and that was the way to go. And the EMA, this is why if you're part of the coaching, or you're gonna join me in the coaching, this indicator will help you a lot as well. Know the trends overall before jumping into something. So you can see the sell signal came in pre-market, and look, it's been traveling underneath that EMA since the very beginning of market open. Not worth fighting the trend and guessing the reversal. Just follow the trend itself. Once it gets above this line, then we can look to trade the reversal here. And all you have to do is focus now on taking profit on one trade. You're 20, 30, 50, 100% up, and there's no risk. You're just focusing on one thing. That's how I excel better. I just focus on less. Less is more for me. So nuke. Anyone have any questions? Any charts you want me to look at? We're just gonna just keep on watching SPY fall all day long, and I hope you guys are making money from it. You know. But any charts you want me to look at, any setups that you have that you want me to review, anything like that, let me know in this one, and we'll see what we can do. I'm literally just going to sit here and watch SPY tank and incorporate that income into my life. There's one name I was going to short, and that is, it's already down 8%, but AXTI was the one that I was going to short. It's been running up way too much with that kind of income. I'm just going to probably short this if we get a bounce. Not sure yet. AXTI is to do with AI, and they're building AI materials, but this company is not making any money, and was making money, but their net income is negative, and their balance sheet is probably going to have to raise cash soon. So I think this name is one to short soon, and I'm going to short it. Don't follow me in unless you kind of understand the chart itself, but it's getting really, really overbought and overvalued, and I don't mind shorting those names. Let me have a look. Well done, everyone who's holding that SPY. Yep. Luke the nuke. We got the nuke down here at 687 from our buy on the short side at 692. The NVIDIA is down 4% today. I always like this. This is a nice trend day for us. This was a nice trend to trade SPY the last couple of days, and now this may be a reversal trend down. Like normally you get like the stairway up, right? And we normally see that in SPY a lot, where we get, oh yeah, we're getting that nice stairway move up, and then we get the big elevator drop down. And that's kind of what we're experiencing right now, right? It's taken We normally see like the SPY, oh, it's gone up 2%, 3% for the week, 7 days, and then it loses 2% in a day. So it's like that Tower of Terror, right? That ride in Disney, where you just getting the stairway up, and then you get that elevator ride down, like Tower of Terror. That's kind of what's going on right now with the chart. Until this NVIDIA chart, I think NVIDIA needs to start finding a bottom, then the market will find one. Otherwise, we're going to see this elevator move down all day long. Yeah, Amazon. Yeah, all of them are going to fall with it. Most of those are going to fall with it. NVIDIA, Meta, AMD. AMD's down 3%. We're going to see that continue to happen. Team is outperforming, like I was mentioning. Team is starting to get a bid. It's up to a high day of 81 nearly. ServiceNow is nearly at a higher day, 110. So we're starting to see, even Microsoft is not doing so bad until recently, but Microsoft is actually not bad as well. Amazon falling to a new low of day. Everything, it's not a good green day today. It looks like we're going to start to see a drop off here. It all relies on how NVIDIA, if it reacts to a level. Let's go on the hourly time frame. Man, well, support would be here. I would imagine we hold that area of 185.88 would be a support level. So if you want to get into more SPY puts or NVIDIA puts, then you would look for us to crack this level here. If we crack this level, we go more downside towards this area. That would be my area next, 179. Maybe a little bit above that, right? 180, say. Just give it a little bit of room so you don't get that big reaction and then try to sell. So you sell a little bit. You got your eyes on the chart a little bit earlier to see that reaction. And if it bounces there, you can take your put profit and then maybe trade the reversal there. But as of right now, if we lose 185.88, which we're trying to lose now, then 180 is on the cards for us here for NVIDIA. And then we got down to 170 down there. These are the levels, shelf levels. Doesn't have much volume, but 170. And then SPY will follow in the footsteps and just fall down as well. So SPY, QQQ, or NVIDIA, whichever one you choose to play down. NVIDIA falls, the indexes were right behind it. Tide is pulling all ships down, yeah. Yep. So, but if we can hold this, so say like an hourly candle, we close above it, and the next hourly candle starts to see some buying off of it, then this could be a nice bottom in place right here, off of this support and this area here. If it doesn't, though, just think about where you can get more profit to the downside. I like them long term. SPY current trend is bearish. If we put the EMA 21 on here, which I don't think I have it, I don't. Whatever. It's probably going to show very bearish as well, right? So new low of day, 685 for SPY puts. This is amazing. Good trade to come back to. My snap calls are up 26% though. Outperforming today. All right, any other charts you guys have? Wow, that puts at $5.77. Sometimes you have to play around with your stop loss, and you can base it off the chart move as well, right? Like, you don't have to just base it off of the contract stop or whatever you're trying to put. You can also base it off of what's going on the chart itself. And maybe if it breaks above this or it breaks above resistance, that's your stop. But maybe you just need to tweak your stop a little bit on that because, you can stop out so tight, but then you missed out on 50% more gains. So all you have to do is just practice. It's not always going to be perfect, but maybe practice or tweak your stop loss a little bit if you can. If you have no room, don't do it. But if you have a little bit of room, wiggle room, then you maybe just adjusting it may help you get a little bit more out of that trade. Sometimes, not all the time, right? All right, so we're coming up to 10:30. I'm gonna jump on out in 7 minutes. Anyone have any other charts they want me to look at? Don't forget to join me in the coaching at 11 a.m. Eastern. If you join the coaching and you can't actually attend the stream, it's recorded, so you can pick up on the stream later. You can obviously you have access to me, DMs, anything like that you need help with. You will get that access as well, along with the coaching. And then don't forget, if you really want to do that in-person event, open up that ticket. Let's get you in there. Let's see you live in person, and get that one in a lifetime experience. We've been doing it for 2 years, 3 years now. Major success. So hope to see some of you guys here, even from the free side. You can still sign up. You don't have to be a premium member or lifetime member. You can still get in and sign up for that. You're welcome, Floki. JWAG, if you stop out, also you can look to re-enter once you get maybe another confirmation to play more down. You don't have to just watch it go up another 100% from your stop loss. You can just say, well, I stopped out that time, but we rejected there. Let me maybe jump in again. Oh, you hear? Yeah, the baby's screaming in the background. I'm trading with 3 kids now. I better be doing good stuff or it's not worth doing this, right? So I got a lot of accounts to form. Got 4 homies too. You know how it is. There's never a dull moment. It's fun. To be honest, I think it's the funnest thing in life. So I don't care if if it stresses me out a little bit here and there. It's normal, but it's the funnest time. So don't regret anything. So yeah, 5 more minutes, but it looks like Nvidia is trying to hold that support. So I'm going to see how this hourly candle closes. We've got 33 minutes for this candle to close. I want to see if we hold here, because if we do, this could be a bottom for the day. Same thing with SPY then. SPY is starting to get a little green candle there finally. All right. I don't see any questions. Anyone want me to look at anything before I leave? Got a couple more minutes. We did a very successful trade setup right there on SPY puts. Based it off of NVIDIA. Also, you could have traded NVIDIA too, but SPY was actually a very clean setup. So at least we traded one good thing there. And, focused on that and just played out perfectly for us. Let me see on the top gainers and see if there's any trade there for us. If you're on the watch list, Red Robin still going to a new high day, 496 now. So that one continues to just slowly trickle up after earnings. IonQ had a good earnings. It's up 19%, but it looks like it's falling off a little bit here. Let me see with IonQ if I can trade a put on this one for weekly put. Let's see what we got. Let's see what kind of interest there is on it. Just a shame because the spread is too much between the bid and ask. So that next week. just be looking. What's IonQ's inverse? It's IonZ. Yeah. So I'm gonna take a trade. This is gonna be a little bit risky. It's a leverage 2x, right? Based on IonQ. But I'm gonna take a trade here on IonZ, right? So we want IonQ to continue to fall, right? So if I put on the right chart of this IonQ, because we're done with NVIDIA for now, right? So let's just go into IonQ. You see IonQ is starting to fall and starting to see a sell signal. It's a little bit mixed here. But it's starting to kind of round off a little bit off the top here on IonQ. So I've been looking on the left side here, IonZ. This is a 2x leverage. So if IonQ decides to continue to fall, then this one will push higher, because it's the inverse. So I will be looking for this candle close, say under $40. Once this closes under 40, then I'm gonna look to take this IonZ trade, and it's down 39% for the day based on that move with earnings. So I'm gonna trade this higher if we fall under 40 on IonQ. And my levels will probably be playing this up to the mid 16s, right? So I would be playing up to these pre-market levels. These levels here that are plotted out already for me. So I'd be looking, if we do decide to lose 40 on IonQ, I'll trade this from the mid 15s to the mid 16s and maybe to the 17s for a day trade. And keeping my tight stop maybe a couple of percent only, or yeah, a couple of percent would be good. Couple of percent risk for maybe 5 to 10% return here. If we see IonQ fall off. Even better if IonQ loses the VWAP, would be even better here. That's 39.82. And then I would trade IonZ, which is a 2x short of IonQ. And I just trade this up as long as I can before I see this one start finding a support. Then I get out of this profit over here. So I'm probably going to focus on this kind of trade in our coaching stream too, and see if we get follow through today with this one. Good stuff there. Out of the office, $348 realized profit. Good stuff. All right, I'm out of here, guys. But that is a trade that I'll be watching just before I jump on, just before I just fly on out of here. As long if this IonQ loses this VWAP or stays under 40 and just falls off, then I'm going to look to play the IonZ as high as I can, maybe to the mid 16th, maybe to the 17s. Just know that this was in the 18s, 19s, 20s yesterday. So if IonQ falls off a cliff, this will go right back to that area today. So I'd be looking for that trade. All right. So it was fun hanging out. Hope you made some money on the SPY or on NVIDIA or on Meta or on one of those big tech names. And I will see you guys on my coaching stream. Bye for now, guys.